Hey there, Blade fans! OG Blade Reviews back with you once again. And I've got TwoSun on the table today. Once again, I have a burgeoning TwoSun collection, you might call it. And I eyeballed this one on White Mountain Knives, which is, by the way, one of the few places you can actually shop for TwoSun knives without going into bidding wars out on eBay, unless you like that and that's your thing, and I get it. I've done that. When I first started getting TwoSun knives, that was the only place I would go, the only place I knew of. Amazon, you can order them, but they're going to take the same length of time to get to you, 3 to 4 weeks, and maybe even longer directly from China, because, yeah, it's a Chinese knife. But beautifully done. I mean, in the tradition of the better knives from, say, Artisan, I would say, and Best Tech, you name it. But they're unique. In some way, they are unique because they're open to a lot of creativity from various designers. I'm going to see if I can back out and give us a little more room here. Here we go. So we can do some close-ups and what have you. This one is a design by Night Morning and only goes by the name, as most, if not all, TwoSun knives do, a TS number for TwoSun 479. As you can see, it's 14C28N. And as you haven't seen yet, there is the blade. Look at that. And it's like a 3.8-inch blade. So, you know, this is a 9-inch or maybe even longer knife. I'm going to measure it up in a moment. But all titanium handle, titanium clip, Framelock, thumb studs, and drop shut. And this is one of the few knives, I'm going to use my left hand, that I can actually successfully front flip. They did a really nice job on the front flipper. You've got lots of jimping all the way around. It's rounded. It's not going to jab into you when you're carrying it. It's heavy. We're going to measure it up a bit later, even with all of this weight relieving. And you can see we're ventilated on both sides. They didn't bring it all the way back here on the clip side, but it's all the way through on this side. Now, you may not like handles with holes in them. I realize that. Probably not my favorite either. However, this does come for $10 less in a model with carbon fiber inserts on both sides. I believe on both sides, yeah. So I had asked for that one. Justin sent me this one, which is fine. This is about $10 more. I think they're going for $99. And the carbon fiber one's going for $89. You can get 10% off, as I always say, if you use my discount code OG-Blade or the old one, Old Sword. Either one of those will get you 10% off your entire order at White Mountain. Full backspacer. So you're not going to get dirt in there very easily, although I shouldn't have said that. You're going to get plenty in through the holes, won't you? So maybe another reason for $10 less to get the solid sides. You got a very pronounced raised portion of the backspacer cut out for a lanyard, easy access. May or may not like that design. Clip is pretty straightforward and kind of fits the swoop in the handle here. Really nice fuller in the blade. Plenty of jimping. You got some that actually grabs you here, even though when you open it, it's almost flush with the handle. But then you get out here and that jimping, it continues to extend. We got what you could call a bayonet type grind on a spear point blade. Not really a dagger grind because it doesn't go all the way back, and it is asymmetrical. We've got a little higher grind here than on the swedge, obviously. And got some paper scraps here. It felt pretty sharp, but we'll give it a try. Got to invest in a fresh sheet of paper, I think. Ooh, go visit the printer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we've got a good edge on this 14C28N blade. And I believe they hardened theirs up pretty well, probably hitting 60 at least. I'm not sure how hardenable, what the range is on 14C. I'm more familiar with what the preferred range on MagnaCut and M390 and S90V is. But let's get some measurements on this and get the tape out. As I said, I think it's hitting 9 inches, but we'll see. No, not quite. Look at that. It's hitting exactly 8 3/4, but it wants to be 9 inches. And yeah, we're going to call that a 3.8-inch blade, as I think they did on White Mountain. And the cutting edge is the same, maybe just a skosh longer. And other measurements in millimeters, since we're set there, 3.6 millimeter, pretty hefty blade stock, which works out to be 0.14 inches in the handle thickness, 0.54, but contoured. I'll show you that contouring in a moment. Now let's get the all-important weight. You know, is this going to be a pocket anchor? What do we got going here? All right, in ounces. Yeah, I thought so. 6.4 rounding up. Yeah. How they got all that weight going in there is beyond me, because you've got titanium, which is certainly a lighter metal than steel. We've got that thick blade, however, and we've got a lot of blade. So feeling the balance here, I would say it's right about there. Let's see. Right about there. Right across there. So pretty well balanced, I would say. You know, it feels much heavier when it's closed, which makes sense because you're tucking the blade into the handle. But when it's open, it's pretty nice, pretty lively in the hand, I would say. So nice edge, very piercing, point on line with the handle pretty much, and beautifully dropped shut right out of the box, nice and smooth. And it's got a very fidgety action. I mean, it's got a nice sound. Very positive. When that locks open, it's simply drum tight. No adjustment has been made on this. Got a T8 going on there. We actually have T8s for body screws. How about that? On both sides. There's where it's not ventilated on the other side. You can see through into the right handle side. All right. Not sure if they gave this one a name yet. They may have. But let's bring out another TwoSun that I reviewed recently, also by White Mountain. Also, yeah, purchased at White Mountain, but by Night Morning Designs. TS144, a really beautiful Tonto. And that's coming in about 3/4 of an inch shorter than the 479. Boy, it's hard to remember numbers. And if we were to bring out another titanium knife, this is the Banjara, designed by Dirk Pinkerton and made by Artisan. It's actually slightly shorter, so we have kind of a angle down here of the overall length of these knives. And if we line up the handles, we can see that these two are pretty close in blade length, and definitely the 479 at 3.8-inch blade is longer. This is a beautiful knife if you can get your hands on it. Very thin and a good deal lighter, by the way, than the 479. But pricier, coming in I think the 250 range. You can get really great deals on TwoSun knives for, I mean, look at the work on this one, the 144. I did a review on this recently. It's just gorgeous. You're going to be paying $250, $300 for something like this from Riot. And I would say the workmanship isn't far off the manufacturer. It's done darn near perfect in the lockup and the snap and just the ergos, the look, all really nice. So that is the TwoSun TS479, designed by Night Morning for TwoSun. A large knife, and you know I like large knives. I've done my share of smaller knives that have been sent to me for review by manufacturers. That's cool. And some of them have found their way into my EDC rotation, but I tend to like bigger blades, 3.5 and over, preferably like 3.6, 375. 375 for me seems to be the sweet spot. I've got some 4.25, 4.5, and of course I got my complement of cold steel ginormous folders as well. I will start doing some collection videos soon, including different manufacturers. I'm going to be talking about handles on fixed blade knives, and we'll have that video coming out soon. But I'm going to have to get at least a dozen knives or so ready for that one. So stay tuned. If you want to subscribe, right here you're going to see my logo. Click on it, and it'll bring you to the link to subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified when new videos come out. Be well, take care, and give this one a like if you would. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.